mouths for a few minutes to get some pretty clear insight into the kind of company they are and where their priorities lie. In my last video, I talked about Patrick Soderlund's defense for taking the Command & Conquer franchise and bastardizing it into a mobile game during an interview he participated in with website gamesindustry.biz. He in no way, shape, or form apologized for shattering the hopes and dreams of people who grew up with Command & Conquer, and instead talked about how mobile is the future, how we need to start respecting mobile games, how bringing Command & Conquer to mobile is the next natural step, touting its potential to reach hundreds of millions of players, saying that the series is back in a familiar, relevant, and contemporary way, and all the corporate speak that further goes to show that EA doesn't give a flying fuck about the fanbase of their treasure trove of IPs as long as they can keep raking in the cash. Perhaps most infuriating of all was Patrick Soderlund's statement that for EA, people make the mistake of expressing what they really want out of their games because they apparently think that we are too dumb and don't know any better. Now, as part of that same GamesIndustry.biz interview, Patrick Soderlund was asked about the loot box controversy, and his response once again revealed EA's true colors. He began by feigning humility with the following statement: "For us, we have come together after the learnings with what happened last year. We have put together a framework on how we believe a large service should function, and it's something we apply across the whole company, across all products." He then proceeds to talk about a topic that EA is all too unfamiliar with: fairness. He said, quote, "You have to look at it from the perspective of what's fair. Fair is the number one thing. When you buy a product from us, you should get full value for the money you spend. There should be a fair game economy in the game, so you can't pay to win. We don't want you to be able to pay your way to be better than others. That's important to us. But we also look at trends in the market and see people are fine with paying for other things, such as how they appear in the game. That seems to be completely fine." You've gotta love how righteous EA tries to come across when they were—
No, it's not. You started it. And because you are that big, you continue, you go backlash. They told you to stop, and you continued, and you continued, and you continued, and other people start copying you because you are that of a big of a company, and they saw that it was working, and you guys were making money, so they wanted to make some money, so they did that as well, and you continued doing it. No.
We're the progenitors of the current global backlash against loot boxes. If there is one word EA does not deserve to tout, it's fair, especially when you consider that the publisher has yet to—
I want to find the one that they went to court. Can someone spell court for me? Because I can't spell shit. Court. Okay, there we go.
I've iterated time and again in the past how
That is the best video.
with the Star Wars government, EA ignited a wildfire that they would not be able to put out, or rolled a snowball down the hill that's become too big to stop. Since that whole debacle, we have seen regulators from all over the world express their concerns, begin investigations, and in the case of Netherlands and Belgium, deem loot boxes as violating gambling laws before stipulating they must be removed or modified by a certain deadline if publishers don't wish to face fines, sales bans, or criminal prosecution. Unsurprisingly, publishers were not at all happy.
So the EA went to court to define the loot boxes and whether it's gambling or not, and remove it from the games, and legally remove it completely. Blah 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 blah. The story keeps going. You guys mentioned it on the chat. We are over that,
making it clear that they don't agree with Belgium's interpretation of the law. And some, like 2K, were desperate enough to beg gamers to contact the local government and convince them to endorse loot boxes. But for the most part, major publishers like Valve, Activision Blizzard, and 2K have begrudgingly complied to, well, following the law by ensuring that players can no longer pay for the random chance of obtaining a desired reward, at least in Netherlands and Belgium.
Good.
Now, I say for the most part because there is one publisher who has declined to comply with Belgium's gambling regulations. I'm of course talking about Electronic Arts. Despite Belgium's threats, the notorious game publisher has decided to defy the country by refusing to remove loot boxes from their FIFA games. So now EA is under criminal investigation and being taken to court by the country. Just look at how far they're willing to go for the right to swindle their consumers when push comes to shove, when their Golden Geese FIFA Ultimate Team card packs are being threatened. This
Well played, Netherlands and Belgium. Wet fucking plate. Love it.
right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the true face of EA. But no matter how much EA may resist, the walls are closing in fast, and the process has been tremendously accelerated by a recent development reported by website Eurogamer. As the headline reads, 15 European gambling regulators unite to tackle the loot box threat alongside the US's own Washington state. So that's 16 countries who have joined forces to fight against the threat of loot boxes.
Yes.
According to Eurogamer, this collaborative effort was organized during an event called the 2018 Gambling Regulators European Forum, and it was attended by signatories from various countries throughout Europe. In fact, a full list of countries, some of which are self-governing.
France. Do we have Cyprus? We need Cyprus in the map. Where's Cyprus? They're sleeping. They don't know video games yet. Okay.
British crown dependency, I might add, can be found right down here, and they include Austria, Czech Republic, France, Gibraltar, Ireland, Isle of Man, Jersey, Latvia, Malta, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Spain, the US's Washington state, and the UK. Going back to the article, one of the key focuses of the collaboration involves, quote, tackling unlicensed third-party websites offering illegal gambling linked to popular video games. It is no secret that third-party sites leveraging the gambling-like mechanisms of games like Counter-Strike Global Offensive and FIFA have been running rampant, and so the intent is, as they said, to play their part in helping crack down on these websites.
Surprise mechanics, terrible wording, like we're going to believe that. Yeah. I remember that phrase. Hopefully he goes through that as well. The surprise, yeah. It's not loot boxes, it's surprise mechanics. Fuck you.
Beyond that, though, this coalition also strives to, quote, ensure that features within games such as loot boxes do not constitute gambling under national laws. So it isn't just about cracking down on unlicensed third-party video game gambling sites, but also about getting right down to the source, the games that implement the glorified gambling that pave the road for these types of sites to rise. We've already seen the likes of Belgium and Netherlands take action in that regard, but with signatories from all these different European countries and territories coming together like this alongside a representative of the United States, you can bet your ass that the investigation against illegal or unethical implementation of loot boxes will kick up several notches and become much more widespread very soon. Belgium and Netherlands are just the beginning. It feels as though the entirety of the European Union is finally beginning to unite against the gaming industry's unwillingness to be responsible.
We need all of them to join. We need all of them to make the law. If all of them, if like all of these countries, they create the law of not having any gambling or any loot boxes or any of this bullshit into their game, the gaming industry is gonna change. It's gonna go back to the traditional. You pay that much, that's it. Voila. Did you know that Dr. Disrespect talked about why modern video games suck? I can watch that one, I guess.
And I am down for that. The primary motivation for this collective effort was, according to Eurogamer, concerns about consumer protection and the safety of children online. One of the regulators joining this effort, Chief Executive of the UK Gambling Commission, Neil MacArthur, expressed that he and his cohorts want parents to be aware of the risks and to talk to their children about how to stay safe. He then added, quote, unlicensed websites offering skins betting can pop up at any time, and children could be gambling with money intended for computer game products. We encourage video game companies to work with their gambling regulators and take action now to address those concerns to make sure that consumers, and particularly children, are protected. This statement is...
It's not... Okay, I want to be honest with you. Like, we are adults. We can define whether something is gambling and we can control ourselves from spending the money or not, right? Realistically, realistically, we can control ourselves the same way that I did, and I said I'm not gonna buy any of this bullcrap. I'm not gonna spend a single dime into it, right? Think about it though. Like realistically, think about a 10 years old playing like Fortnite, right? As they are playing, they're like, oh, that's a cool skin. I'm gonna go and buy it. Or I'm gonna open like a loot box that they has a chance to actually get it. They cannot control themselves. They are too young. They cannot consume the facts that those monies was made by their parents throughout hard work and endless amount of nights and days working. Like they cannot understand that. And that is a real issue. Like, imagine if I had children and they're playing games, which when I have kids, they will 100% play games. Imagine leaving them on my computer, for example, and let them play, where I have all my banks and everything connected into it. They join the game that I enjoy, and they enjoy it as well, and they play the game. And they see something that they're like, oh, we don't have that one. I'm gonna go and click over here and click over here and over here, and I'm gonna get it. Now, how I got it, I don't know. I just got it. Although on the other side, you have me with my phone, watching my phone being charged for $200. That is the reality. It is gambling. Like, why do you even have it in games? Why can't you spend more money into the game after you bought the game? It blows my mind. It just blows my mind. Why? Let me play your fucking game. Let me spend a lot of hours and feel the progression of myself by playing your game, unlocking those beautiful skins, and showing to my friends that I spent about 200 hours into the game and I got something that they don't have because I played the game more than them. First of all, it feels more rewarding. And second of all, it makes more sense. Why do you log it behind a paywall? Why do I play a game and I want to have a specific skin, and in order to obtain it, the only way, is by paying with money? I was playing Fortnite with no skin. It sucked. I wanted to have those cool shit as well, but I was smart enough not to spend my money. It just sucks. Either way, it just sucks. It's stupid. How the 2019 games became is so stupid. And they keep going with this idea.
Is likely in part directly addressing the strife and reluctance that game publishers have conveyed by stating things like how they don't agree with the interpretation of the law, or by outright refusing to comply with enforced regulation like EA. Now, do keep in mind that this alliance is still in its early stages, with Eurogamer's article stating that no solid action has yet been taken. But they did add that this international effort does mark a major shift in the loot box regulation debate, which definitely cannot be overstated. This is the start of a major push that may finally bring greedy game companies to their knees, regulate rampant forms of loot boxes in enough markets, like throughout Europe and in the United States, and change will be instigated across the board. It's kind of like how the European Union passing the General Data Protection Regulation forced companies to change their data protection policies across the board on a global scale. Similarly, if enough countries push back, game publishers will have no choice but to design games without loot boxes moving forward if they wish for their products to be sold on a mass market level.
But let's say they remove, alright, let's say they remove the loot boxes. So you're still gonna have the skins over there that you're gonna spend money in order to obtain them. That is an issue as well. Okay, like, the loot boxes is the first step. Is the first step. remove the loot boxes, at least you're gonna remove the randomness of obtaining something. For example, I see something, I want it, I will spend my money, I will support the studio, I will get it, right? But the whole point is not just the loot boxes. That's one. The other one is obtaining something from a game that I already bought by spending more money. That's my issue over there. All of this for me started 7 years ago. I will say the first time that I encountered like heavily the loot boxes. It was when I was playing H1Z1. Back then when it was the survival and King of the Hill was one game. And you had like drops dropping from helicopters and you go open them and you get like a key and then you get like a box, and in order to open the box to get like a skin you had to spend money into the keys. You had to buy the keys, open the box and get a random loot, right? Guess what? As much as I wanted to have those cool skins and all of that, I never spend a single penny because I bought the game. I spent my money and I bought the game. Why do you shove these boxes in my face? And it was shoving those in your face. I probably still have them on my... Let me see. I probably still have them on my Steam if I didn't sell them or try to sell them on Steam, the workshop or whatever. Is it market? Let me see. There they are. I still have them. Let me see if I can find the this one. That's the skins. No, I'm looking for my, I think, inventory. You go... Where's my inventory? H1Z1. There they are. Out of these boxes over here, which I still have them locked for like years now, you get like... You have a chance to get any of this shit over here, which is Summit, Shroud, H1Z1. Like, I never opened them. Some of them, it was just gifted to me for free by the game or whatever. But then you have this, oh, I want the Shroud skin. It's inside these stupid boxes. And it was way more. I remember, yeah, that was the free. That's what you get for free. And I played the entire game for like a year by having the default skins or whatever. And then you have these stupid boxes over here. I was just the beginning.
This is especially true if countries around the world coordinate, which is exactly what this new collaboration is kickstarting. It's not just some casual collaboration either. Keep in mind that these guys signed an agreement to the, quote, Declaration of Gambling Regulators on their concerns related to the blurring of lines between gambling and gaming. So yeah, enjoy your loot boxes while you can, greedy publishers, but with the gaming community united in the stigmatization of loot boxes, and with many countries now coordinating to fend off glorified gambling, I think it is safe to say that the likes of EA are thoroughly fucked. It's what happens when you keep resisting the law, when you don't take responsibility, and when you keep pushing the envelope of what shitty things you can get away with. It was only a matter of time before something like this happened, but with EA's Battlefront 2 screw-up and their recent defiance against Belgian gambling laws, all the publisher has done is add fuel to the fire and give government officials further urgency to tackle the issue. So good job, EA, you have inadvertently done all of us a favor, whereas other companies like Valve, Activision Blizzard, 2K, and Ubisoft are trying to keep their heads down until the storm passes. You keep doing and saying desperate shit that's only making the storm worse. The other publishers must hate EA's guts at this point, with EA ruining something lucrative they had going with their inability to resist shooting themselves in the foot. Well, I say keep it coming, EA, keep accelerating the dooming of loot boxes. Anyway, there you go, folks, a major milestone in the fight against loot boxes and game publishers' predatory practices. With that, I would like to end this news
Sorry. That's it, boys. That's it. Let's play some games now. Spent about 2 hours exactly, to be honest. Just talking about random shit. Because we can. And no one can stop us. Hope you enjoy it. Something a little bit different. I wanted to do this for quite some time. I wanted to just sit over here and talk about a lot of things that it was fueling me, I will say, to do a big boom and come one day and just say everything. That's it. I don't have anything to say.